Good morning, everybody. Welcome to SoapBox Slam, where I get on my soapbox and I talk about any and everything. Today, I actually want to talk about the arts. This morning, good morning, right? Today, I want to talk about the arts, right? What do I mean by the arts? Like, we have fine arts and performance arts, right? And for whatever reason, I love the arts, right? Whether it's performance or fine art, there's something about as a human being expressing yourself in a certain kind of way that's artistic that can leave an impression with like other people, right? Like, you look at a painting and you become inspired. And what do I mean by inspiration? In the sense of you feel an emotion, and emotion is invoked by a certain painting, right? Or like, I'm not particularly sophisticated enough to understand ballet, but it's a wonderful art form, right? I don't always follow the story and the expression per se, but it's a wonderful art form. And I've been to several ballets in my life. I've been to Alvin Ailey, right? Alvin Ailey, one of the first African-American, he was a part of, I believe he was a part of ABA, which is the American Ballet Academy, and performed in that as one of the first black males to perform on a major stage in ballet. But when he left, if I think I got the story right, when he left, he created his own dance company, and that became Alvin Ailey. And with Alvin Ailey, he created dance. I believe it's labeled contemporary dance. He created dance that kind of was more inclusive and reflective of what he looks like, I guess, or what he's supposed to be. I don't understand 100%. I mean, other than the fact that he created another dance company for expression that people could come and see. I went to several Alvin Ailey's performances, and brought tears to my eyes, right? I could follow the story. I could follow the movements of the body and the expression, right? And I related to it more. So, I mean, you've got dance, you've got art, you've got so I've been to a few operas in my life, and and not to boast or brag or anything like that, like, I did live in New York City, so I got to go to Lincoln Center and see these performances by the top tier performers in the top tier venues, right? That was amazing experience that I got to have, while all of my friends were having kids and starting their families. I got to experience life a different kind of way, and I'm not saying one way is better or the other. And hindsight's 2020, and grass is always greener on the other side, right? And now I'm at a point in my life where I'm ready to have my family and have my kids, because I've had these experiences, and I've seen these, and I've learned from these kind of experiences, and it's something I'd like to be able to share and give. But that's a whole nother show, and that's a whole nother discussion, and that's a whole nother thing. I'm talking about the arts today. And so we were talking about ballet, we're talking about opera, we're talking about contemporary dance with Alvin Ailey, or the other dance company Complexions, or we're talking about fine art, and we're talking about Egon Schiele to Botero to to some of the more modern Basquiat's or Kehinde Wale, this kind of art, right? I love it. I see these. So I was in Texas on a little break, and kind of rearing from kind of a heartbreak or a devastating breakup, and all I wanted to do was just go look at artwork, right? That's all I wanted to do. And so I went to a bunch of galleries and I went to a bunch of museums. And I would say, just a note, the museums in Dallas were crap. The museums in Fort Worth, Texas were phenomenal. And I ended up having to go all the way out to Fort Worth, Texas, which is not that far from me. I mean, 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive from where I live in Texas. And just went to the museum, the art museum there, and, you know, walked around and looked at different paintings and was unbelievably moved. I mean, I like when I go to a gallery or go to a museum, an art museum or something like that, like I sit and I think about, like, what did it take for this artist to express themselves this way? What was going on in their mind? Why did they express themselves this way? What was the complexity of their thoughts that allowed them to execute the expression on canvas that way? What were they trying to evoke? What is invoked in me? What is it that I feel when I see this? Do I feel happy? Do I feel sad? Do I feel inquisitive? Do I feel, you know, these are the things that I go through when I'm going to a gallery or an art museum. And I mean, I wish I had a partner in life that really was moved by the arts the way I am and can really appreciate going to a play, and not even like not necessarily a musical, because I mean, musicals are fun, they're entertaining, but a play, not a musical play, a play, you know, where a concept or a thought is expressed through the actions of people on stage that challenge you to think, right? I mean, it relieves so much turmoil within when you're able to look at artwork or look at dance or look at a play or anything like that and share that emotion, know that that emotion is shared with you through their expression, or you share emotion with them, that being the artist, them being the artist, you share that emotion as well, or that is brought out of you. And what more meaningful and beautiful would it be to have companionship, to be able to enjoy those kind of expressions. It's one of the finer moments in life. And you know, I think one of, like, I have learned so much more about your partner being your friend. And some people get it right from the very beginning, right? Like I commend and admire people I know in my life who did get married and settle down and have a relationship with someone, and I imagine that they, and I don't know, these are just people that I've come to know because of school or life. I mean, I don't know them on personal level, so I don't know what those couples are particularly doing to share each other's passions, right? But I like to imagine that they're really good friends with each other, as well as being partners and lovers, right? Partners in life and romantic lovers, right? Like, they've got to be friends. They've got to be the type of people who enjoyed going to the movies together and, reflecting on the movie afterwards, or going to a play, or going to a gallery, or sharing those moments together and enjoying those moments together as friends, which strengthen their relationship. And I think if there's anything that I yearn for, it's the stability of a relationship and sharing those kind of moments. And I want to share those moments in the arts, share those moments watching jazz performances and listening to live instruments, right? I've been to the Philharmonics, I've been to Carnegie Hall, I've been to all of these places, right? And I did it all alone. And even now to this day, I'm alone. And I was in Dallas for a while after a unsuccessful partnership, and I went to this art museum, and then I got called back to work, so I came back to work in Illinois, and like every weekend I have been like I went to see jazz. I went, this weekend there's a gallery that I found in Greektown, and it's like, with all of the emotions that I've been dealing with, and the reflection I've been dealing with, and the therapy I've been dealing with, and all that, I feel like I just want to connect with artists who may have experienced some of the emotions that I'm experiencing, and expressed it in a way that is more tangible, right? And like something I can visually see, or something visual that can express what I feel emotionally or internally, right? And it's like an aha moment, and that sounds so cliche. I hate that Oprah is the one who came up with the aha moment, but it's like an aha moment in the sense that when you see it, and it's everything, that there it is. Like, that's what I feel at this moment, or that's what I maybe not feel at this moment, but that's what I am dealing with and fixing, or approaching. So and you know what, like, I have a cousin who I have not grown up to know, and she is a beautiful woman, and dealing with such a heartbreak, right? And not a heartbreak like what I'm dealing with, right? My heartbreak is completely different. Her husband died, right? I don't know all the details. I didn't necessarily grow up with her or knowing her, but and like I don't even know her, and I'm emotional about it because I would love to be able to go with her to a museum or something and just let her walk around, get to know her, but find some sort of artistic expression that makes her feel good, because I know she's hurting. I don't think you have to lose a life or lose someone because of a failure in relationship, to be able to share the feeling of loss. I don't think you have to, I don't think the circumstances have to be the same in order for you to share with somebody what that emotion might be. And so I would love to spend time with her and go do something like that. Go do something to share the arts, to maybe help deal with loss. I think that's part of the function of art. I think that's part of the function of art. And I think that's one of the healthiest things that we have as human beings to do, right? So if my cousin sees this, and I want her to know that while I don't know her very well and we didn't grow up together, that I do feel her pain in the sense of loss. And if she does want to just get out of the house and see art, and maybe that art would put on paper what she may be feeling, I'd love to share that moment with her. But that is the purpose of art. And that is why I have been spending my time trying to find art and see art and enjoy art. So embrace the arts. I hate that school budgets and everything else have taken arts and don't invest in the arts and things like that for our kids. I don't have any kids, but for kids in general. Because I think that while kids might not have life experience, and Lord knows I have life experience, tons of it, and so much of it to share. I was not blessed with the ability to draw. I was not blessed with the ability to sing. I was not blessed with the ability to dance, right? Because of all of my life experience, if I was blessed with any of those things, I'd probably be world renowned and marked in history. I'd probably live forever through my art based on some of the experiences that I've endured in life. But nonetheless, I hate that we don't invest in the arts, and our children don't. That is not the focus of our education today. I do read a lot. I wish I was more of an avid reader than I've been in my entire life. But one of the things that I read in Socrates and old philosophy was that humankind should embrace mind, which means reading and expressing, writing, expressing the mind, working the mind, body. And at that time when they were talking about body, they said gymnastics, but in the literal sense it was more like a physical activity, and soul, a connection to some sort of spirituality, whether it was monotheistic or polytheistic, that there was a connection with your soul, right? And that your soul was rooted in something centered, like a sense of religion or a sense of spirituality. I'm not going to say religion per se, but spirituality. That being the connection to the soul. So mind, body, and soul. And we hear that expression all the time: mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. But it really comes from the writings that says mankind, to be the most centered, would have to express and embrace all three forms of that in life. And that's what I strive for. And so the arts, to me, are tremendously important. And I think that our children, or your children, I think that your children should have intense education focused on all three. And I think that's what keeps us centered. It's what's keeping me centered. I focus on all three to this day, even now. I try to live my life principles by those three. And when anything gets out of balance with any one of those, I try to homeostasis or symbiosis with all three. I try to up. If one is down, I gotta bring that one back up so that all three are matched. And that's what I'm trying to do. So have a wonderful day today. Be well. Good morning. Be well. Have a wonderful day. My work shift is about to start, and all the best.